Are we on? I want to say yes. Sabaho, everybody. Hope you're doing well. um, as it could show already, I mean, as you probably already tell, I am still not back at the studio, and I'm actually still on the road. And I was debating this morning when I woke up if I wanted to, like, should we try? The reason mostly I was debating it is because the network connection here isn't actually that good. I don't have 5G. I don't have even the Wi-Fi at the place I'm staying in is actually not strong enough. And what I mean by this is you're going to notice at some point some probably pixelation a little bit in the video's feed that you're getting from me. But with that being said, I want to say welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning with Tech, episode 82, on this August 7th, 2021, the weekend before a whole bunch of things going to change next week. As you probably already saw from the title, there's a couple of things happening next week that are a little bit exciting for me. One of them, obviously, is going to be the Unpacked event for Samsung. There's going to be a whole bunch of things confirmed, per se. But the other thing that I'm really, really excited about is the Honor launch. Honor is finally launching the Magic 3, a successor to a series of devices that I've actually had to play with, and even the honor of, no pun intended, of being at one of their events a couple of years or so ago with my buddy over from XDA, Michel Rahman, and we actually attended the Honor Magic 2 launch. But the biggest difference here is the fact that the Honor Magic 3 is going to be a global launch, not like a China only. This is what typically we've seen with the early generations of the Honor Magic series. The first one I had a chance to play with was at CES 2017, I want to say, around the Honor Magic 7X when it was already coming out. Not the Honor Magic, the Honor 7X. And that device was very unique, had a lot of new features that we haven't seen yet, but have actually materialized in a lot of devices, like the curved edges, the thinner display, and of course, OLED panel. But it was the AI functionalities that they were focusing on. The ability of basically based on a conversation between two people where the system recognizes what you guys are talking to and starts recommending certain things. Like if you mention the movie or whatever, it automatically brings up the listing from IMDb or automatically opens up maps and tells you where is that restaurant you're talking about. And that was something part of what they did the first one. The second generation, where they went with the Honor Magic 2, was a little bit different, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. I do want to start and kind of do a little bit of housekeeping with everybody. Good morning, good morning. I see Matt is in the chat. Good morning, man. Sabaho, everybody, by the way. Donna Lozino's in there. Chemi's in there. Oliver, of course. Robin, hey, man. John, Matt Tyler, the man, the myth, the Call of Duty legend. And, of course, Earl Owens, Mark Saadi, Helen, and, of course, Jimmy Fire Dragon, man. Hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, and Grounded Tech, man. Good morning, Dan. Congratulations on the new name. Air Guys TV is no more. It is Grounded Tech. And then Rahul Mehta is in there as well, and Exciting Electronics is in the chat. So I'm hoping this stream, by the way, just is probably not going to be one of the long ones. We're not probably going to go for an hour and a half, but I didn't want to skip it. I felt weird, like honestly felt weird not doing a live stream. The Thursday show with Juan was really nice. He got a chance to host it for me, so I didn't really have to do that much. But this one, actually, now we're doing it on the road, and this is me by myself, obviously doing our own thing. TK won his gulag. So yeah, Matt. So Matt and I were chatting during the week. I sent him a picture of I was visiting basically a prison. It's weird. It sounds like a bad thing. No, it was basically a tour, a famous tour in Northern California that we get a chance to check it out. But it looked so much like the gulag in Call of Duty Mobile that I sent them a picture saying, sorry, dude, can't jump in the game. I'm stuck in the gulag. And it was really, really nice. And it was actually a nice little homage to how the way we get a chance to do things. So with that being said, like I said, not going to be a really heavy, very, very busy show. The main thing that I wanted to kind of cover for you guys, obviously, is because those two events are coming up for me. I know Juan's shows generally kind of at the beginning of the week, kind of recapping the week before. For me, Saturday is kind of pretty much in the walls in between, right? Kind of like talking about some of the things that happened during the week and then the things that are coming up. Obviously, the biggest thing for me this week would be obviously Google confirming via tweet on the Made by Google account the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro basically designed. That's the first thing. And the fact that we're also going to be looking to see that we're getting in there as well. So overall, big announcement from them confirming it, obviously coming soon, coming in September, more than likely. There are also some rumors, very heavy rumors, talking about the Pixel 5a coming in late August, actually still being a separate announcement than the actual event from Pixel, which I think Juan and I are a little bit more maybe on top. I don't think Google's probably going to try to push off two separate events that close to each other to announce a separate series. So the A series and the standard P6 and the 6 Pro. More than likely, all three are going to be announced at the same time in September. With the at least confirmation, we know we've seen many leaks of the 5A, so we know that's coming. So basically being a three-tier experience. There is the 5A, the affordable, fully featured Pixel experience that you get at an affordable price, obviously with some tailored experience on the camera optics so on. And then, of course, we then get the 6 and the 6 Pro with the brand new SoC, Whitechapel, whichever, we're going to see what they call it officially. The biggest thing that I'm actually excited to see is the fact that we are getting that close. Today, as I mentioned, today is the 7th of August. We're literally almost 1 week into August. Time is left. Unpacked is going to be next Tuesday, Wednesday, and then there is the event from Honor. So next week we already have big announcements, but it sounds like we're not going to be getting very much on the smartphone side, a standard smartphone side, like no pun intended, the glowing rectangle smartphone side of a device. It's foldables. It's going to be the Z Flip 3 and the Z Fold 3. And the biggest thing going on, I'm with you, Dan. So Dan wants to be jumping on the 6. I think the 6 is going to be very compelling, and I'm realizing that I'm a little bit laggy. I do apologize. It is a case of a network, and I am running slightly different situations. Again, mobile, very much the big thing, trying to go with it this time. So I do appreciate you guys hanging in with me. I'm hoping the audio is not that bad, so that at least the audio podcast doesn't actually get impacted. Hey, Jay, Joe's in the chat. Hey, man. Let's see. The 6 does actually have a very compelling conversation because it seems like they're both going to be running the brand new SoC. And the experience is, again, what Google's trying to go with essentially is trying to give us an extra sensor for a Pro series, allowing that to be the Pro feature added to a smartphone. So we'll have to see. My hope is that the pricing is done in the right spectrum, meaning we don't blow it out of the water and we go back to $1,000 plus experience. I think Google last year had a very good learning experience from going with the 7 series with the 5. And then they realized how much sales we're able to do. And of course, with the 4A, that did even better than the 3A did because the price actually dropped. So those are things we need to keep in mind. And hopefully that's a learning lesson for Google to move forward with the right pricing so that it doesn't end up becoming like the Pixel is so expensive, it's too far a reach. I don't think it ever becomes. If you're truly a fan, you appreciate it. But again, price does make a big difference. Your pocket does dictate exactly how much you're able to stretch. Right. I know. So Matt's confirming from the audio is a little bit okay. I'm using earbuds. These are the again, I'm still using the same earbuds, actually, the Amazfit earbuds. These are the earbuds Pro from Amazfit. Best option I was able to do, again, when you're mobile, that's literally what you do. You're using a phone, you're using the front-facing camera, and you're running the whole thing, and you're going to have to use earbuds. Otherwise, I'm shouting, and you can hear a whole bunch of echo with this room because there is no carpet. A backdrop of information. There is a bunk bed behind me. I'm actually under exactly the same thing. And I don't know if you guys could see it, but there's a desk right there, like a little bit of a sitting area. And I know I just froze one more time. But this is the type of place we're staying in temporarily, and then hopefully be back home very soon. It's one of those you need to get off the a lot of us, we need to basically just need to kind of get our situation set up. Not that trying to cap and instead use it. Yeah, man. So I'm hoping Joe has a good luck with his camera experience. The TK-ception is going to be interesting because I don't know if I can actually. I don't know how we're going to do it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how we do the TK-ception. I'm going to have to figure it out. Techie Dragon Ball. So as you guys see, always Goku's hanging out with me. Goku Black is with me as well. I dubbed my Tesla Goku Black. It's a black car, and named it Goku. Hence, it has to be Goku Black, right? So it's not Goku Black Rose, just standard Goku in black form. It's a base form of Goku Black. Those images so we'll have to see how things go. I think Joe's camera experience, once he starts really shooting some of his, getting the hang of it, the camera is going to be way better. What else was okay? So that was the thing with the Unpacked. There is a reservation thing. It's going on right now. If you guys want to be able to reserve it, and the only benefit for this is what I'm saying, is it's something that you don't necessarily have to do anything other than just basically reserve for the event. The main benefit that you get out of it, though, if you do choose to actually get into and want to trade in something that is inside, is that you do get, and let me double check real quick here. There's an extra $100 on the trade-in, so you get an extra $100 credit. So if your phone is $400 or your device that you're trading in is $300, you get an extra 100. So that makes it 400. On top of that, there's $155, which that depends if it's a value or not, of the Samsung Care. So if you do purchase Samsung devices and you do intend to pay for Samsung Care, that's going to get covered. And then there's an additional bonus from that. And literally all of that does essentially is it doesn't cost you anything. The only thing that happens for you there is that you're able to basically get your name on the list, and you get notified when the actual items are ready to be ordered. And then using the link that they sent you, then you're able to get all those extra credits. I'll say this, the 100 extra I think is always helpful to offset some of the price. Again, these things are not going to be cheap. We're looking at a Z Fold 3 and a Z Flip 3. So for the most part, already priced above what a standard smartphone is going to be based on the fact of what we're getting. I, again, realize I am choppy a little bit. The connection is, I'm hoping it just carries me through this. But, hopefully you guys are okay with that. Oh man, the Pixel 6 Pro should be, they're around $949 max. I think that's a decent price, and I'm hoping that they do stay there. So let's just kind of bring it up right there. So Matt's pointing up, hopefully the Pixel 6 Pro, that's the higher end, it's around the 950. And if that is true, the other side of the Pixel 6 should be basically closer to more about the 700, maybe 750. I see Go Gadgets in there. Hey man, hope you're doing well. Earl, yes. Earl, it's always going to be Goku. One thing for me that I again, when I named Goku, and I know a lot of people are like, why don't you just call it a Flying Nimbus? Because I don't really personify myself as being Goku. I am a very big fan of Goku and what he stands for. And I love the manga and I love the series and how he actually perseveres through all of his challenges. That's the biggest thing about Goku. Goku and Vegeta both personify a certain personality in all of us, right? You have Goku, the guy that's born with natural instincts, but he still has to suffer and he still has to go through some big challenges and then gets put down, and every challenge becomes stronger and harder, and he has to kind of find a way to get through and better and become a better person at the end of it. Where you have Vegeta on the other side, still faces similar challenges, but is the person that's not happy where he is, and he always wants to push himself. And that brotherly competition to a certain point that we have now between Goku and Vegeta, that keeps pushing Vegeta to surpass his levels. I think without Goku, Vegeta would have basically been complacent where he was initially when he was able to first invade Earth, trying to, when he was coming in basically with the invasion crew at the beginning of the series, right? So those are the things that we really appreciate with Goku and Vegeta. I really like the series. I prefer Goku's personality a little bit because at the end of the day, it's more how I feel like, where we are who we are, but it is truly we are who we are when we go through a challenge. One of my favorite sayings in the world, and this is something I truly try to live by, is it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. It sounds like a nice little rhyme, and it kind of makes it very simple, but it truly makes a very impact into who you are and your personality. Some people love to be very important, be very influential, but all of that good stuff, and you have that, and that's a good thing to be in if you're able to, be that person for people. But you need to be also able to be a person that's able to be, communicate with and talk to and understand and feel grounded in a certain way. So that's why I say it's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. And you'll find that actually even on my Twitter on my Twitter signature. So not trying to kind of like TK-isms or whatever. It is by no means something I invented. I actually heard this, read it. And believe it or not, actually, when I was very young, I heard that also in the song. So it was something that I kind of like resonated very much for me. But yeah, so ER, man, hey Ibrahim, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I kind of went on a little bit of a rant, not rant, but more of a conversation thing. Like I got in my own space. So as far as camera wise, I'm using the S21 Ultra front facing camera, but it's not the camera's experience, it's the lighting and it's also the connection. There is no strong signal where I am right now. There isn't. I tried. 5G is pretty bad. LTE gets me maybe 2 megabits down and crappy 0.4, 0.5 up. And I felt was the best situation was to not be very mobile, not be very moving. So as long as I'm not moving too much, the camera doesn't have to represent too much. So the background for the most part stays the same. And it is literally this guy with the beard and everything. that just kind of hopefully ends up being decent. When it's not choppy, it looks pretty decent. Not my best, but definitely not going to be the worst. Hopefully we'll see something better. I was hoping for better connection even when I was on Wi-Fi. That was the thing that I was going for. If you don't move, it's okay. We should send that in. Congratulations on reaching the S21 Ultra level. Yes, front-facing camera. Don't move. Everything looks good. Actually, I could just pretty much just take a snapshot right now, put it in front, and replace the entire feed with my snapshot. You guys would be fine. I just assume my mouth is moving every time I say something. Would be totally this guy with the beard. Totally, Dan. Yeah, no, it's going to be the guy with the beard show. Welcome back to that. It is Saturday morning with the guy with the beard. Let the beard guide you. That was another thing I like to do. But I seriously, guys, I felt weird not having a live stream. I missed hanging out with you guys, and I missed just chit chatting and just hanging out with you guys. Like I said, the Thursday show with Juan was a lot of fun, and although I'm on the road, I didn't want to skip it out. So I felt let's just do one. We'll do one again. It's going to be a quick one, probably another maybe 20, 30 minutes or so. It's not going to be a super long one. So at least for the best of the part of it, we don't get to not have that moment and talk a little bit more. Earl, believe me, Earl, that's exactly how I say it. So whenever I'm on other people's show, like I don't want to say, TK Bay, like there's no catchphrase for me. So my catchphrase is the Sabajo, right? I start my shows with it, but there isn't really anything else that kind of like, TK Bay, it's in the game. It doesn't sound right. So the beard kind of becomes my, it actually became a calling card for the better part of the last couple of years or so. So I just literally would say, just let the beard guide you. If you're looking for me, just Google TK Bay, and then when you find the beard, you're done. You got it. Let it guide you, and it gets you where you need to get. Go Gadgets. Salam alaikum. Thanks, man. Oh, I didn't realize you spoke Arabic. The reason Google will price match iPhone. Oh, okay. So here's a good one. ER1980 is jumping in with a good comment. Let's jump out with that. So the reason Google will price match the iPhone is because between the 6 and the 6 Pro, like Apple does with their phones, but also Vision 5 years of OS support. So that big change that I don't think a lot of people are realizing that's coming with this generation, be it to say about the smartphone, right? All the way from the SoC, hardware, the RAM, the configuration, my choppy video, all of that good stuff kind of gets called out. Yeah, the video just went for sticking. There's not going to be any way of bringing it back. Okay, I'm going to stand still for a few seconds to see if we can bring this back. It's going to be bad. But yeah, no, what I meant to say essentially is the fact that it is going to be that 5 years worth of support. TK, who is your favorite? Oh, okay, this is going to sound bad. I don't actually know the name of the gentleman, but he is the gentleman that played, and he is actually a very big Indian actor. So just for a little bit of reference, growing up in Lebanon when I was a kid, we watched a lot of Indian movies in Lebanon. They weren't dubbed, they weren't subbed, they were all in Indian. We didn't understand a single word, but we watched them. One of the main characters that played it was Omar Akbar Anthony, and it was a big song, a big show. So when I was growing up, that's the movie actor. Hold on, let me tell you exactly who he is. Omar Akbar Anthony. It's going to sound weird, and I'm like, okay. Oh, here it is. Amitabh. Amitabh. I'm saying it wrong, I'm sure. Bekhan. Let me copy his name here. So he's the actor. He is one of my favorite actors when I was growing up, and it sounds weird, but he's obviously one of the oldest actors. He's still in the business. He still puts out movies, but it was a classic. And Omar Akbar Anthony was a big my childhood growing up, mostly because it had a very big name, Omar and Akbar, of course, and Anthony. Just reading. So yeah, if I had to actually mention favorite actor, it would be him. It is. Let me see. Let me jump real quick. So Mario's jumping in. So I'm waiting for the Pixel 5a on August 26th. So I'll eventually be getting the Pixel 6 Pro, but right now I'll settle down for the 5a because I'm sold on the 5 and I miss it. So I think the Pixel 5a is definitely going to be a sweet spot. They're not going to do two versions of the 5as like they did with the 4a or the 3a. Um, and I think that's a good smart thing for them because they're focusing on their 6. Obviously, you could see Google shifting their effort. They want to move you to the 6 and the 6 Pro. I think the 5A is definitely going to be a very good budget smartphone with that lifelong support, that 5 year support. That's going to be something big for that price point. I'm hoping Google keeps the pricing exactly where it was last year, especially since this is the 5A. It's not even going to be an XL, so it's going to be more of the smaller sizes. So the hope there is that if the 5A does release on the 26th, so it'll be basically more of not a big formal launch event, but more like a press release announcing it, kind of like how they did the 4A last year. It'll be nice. I think it'll be nice. I'm hoping that they do it that way. I feel like for some reason, so if they do launch it in that timeline, I think this is going to be something very close to the 6 and 6 Pro. So people will jump on the 5A and it won't be cannibalizing from each other, right? And when people are looking into their pricing. Any way to remove Oliver? You know what? I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one, but I'm pretty sure if we do a simple, you pretty much should be able to see it. Geeky nasi. أفسر منو كي I don't know how to read that one. Sorry, Nassim. I really wish I don't read other languages other than French, Arabic, and obviously English and Spanish, and a little bit of Deutsch when it comes at. Oh yeah, definitely, dude. Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this. So Jermaine from Concept Creators had a giveaway with OnePlus. I think was it OnePlus Netherlands, OnePlus, and they were giving up a OnePlus backpack. This is weird, and I'm not trying to plug them in, but I'm a big fan of OnePlus backpacks. I actually use my OnePlus backpack every time I travel, especially because it's nice, it's slim, it's easy to carry, plus the mechanism works really nice. But Aditya won one from Jermaine's giveaway, so congratulations to Aditya. Hope you you're enjoying that, or you're going to enjoy it. I don't know if you received it yet. Oh, Shohan Hiro Ahlan. Okay. Geek Nassim is trying to say hello. Yes, I was trying to enunciate it, but it didn't sound like a language that I spoke. So I sometimes, some people write Arabic and English and kind of thing. So I was trying to read it and it didn't sound as much. So it says, Afsar manu kia hal hal yar. I am pretty sure I'm butchering because there's two A. Hal yar. Yeah, Afsar manu kia hal yar. I'm pretty sure I butchered that one. I do apologize, Nassim, if that sounded really bad. But yes, everybody, congratulations. So here, Go Gadget's is asking a very good question. So the Nord 2, so it's not available in the US, so I haven't had a chance to check it out. I am trying to connect with OnePlus to see if I can get my hands on one. The Nord 2 actually, I think, is a very good a device to be able to jump on right now. It's featuring literally the best that MediaTek has to offer, even at the level of the AI capabilities that they have. So the 1200 is a very capable chipset. You're getting the Nord, the OnePlus experience, also in a certain way, and I know this may not necessarily be the most popular opinion there. This is kind of like where the merger of ColorOS and Oxygen OS become a thing. We're starting to see more representation of Oppo's ColorOS, and then of course having OnePlus's Oxygen OS seem a little bit more, and people are calling it like a skin, but it's really an integration of both OSs, right? So ColorOS has presence in maybe the base. We don't know yet exactly to what extent, but we're starting to see components of ColorOS. So you're getting that experience, and you're also getting some of the main benefits. It's literally the best Nord you're going to be able to get, regardless of what other Nords they release. It's the one that they're going to be basically pushing. So the 1200 is definitely more capable than 780, more capable than the 765 they did last year. So we're still not talking, Snapdragon 888 or it's basically close to basically 865 level experience. So you can't go wrong with that if you're looking into something like that from OnePlus. So the Nord 2 for sure should definitely be a good smartphone, and it should also still be supported for quite being that it literally is just starting not that long. It is Hindi. I assumed it was Hindi. Geeky. Sorry, Nassim. It was more having to enunciate it correctly. So, like in Arabic, like the A's in Arabic, we usually say ba. So it's like ba. So I don't know if that's how the two A's you had in there were supposed to enunciate, as opposed to just say the ba or be. So it's the way the letters kind of go that I was mostly trying to kind of cover there. Dominic Wan's in the chat. Hey man, hey, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, so Oliver's jumping back here. Well, I'll check XDA. Basically, the eSIM decided to reactivate after removed from the phone. Okay, so basically, the eSIM decided to reactivate after I removed it from the phone. So an eSIM is something that you can't really remove. I'm assuming you're talking about the eSIM activated when you remove the regular SIM from the phone. And now the Surface Duo is a paperweight. Oh. Okay, so you're having problem because, okay, I'm a little bit confused though on the eSIM concept. The eSIM decided to react. Let me see if let's check into XDA and I'll see if I can find something after the show. So Chris Lopez is asking is why don't they release the Nord line in the US? The US market has I don't know, it's a weird situation. I'm not sure why. They release Nords, don't get me wrong. They do have the N10 and the N200 and the N100. The N200 literally just dropped not that long ago. That's actually the one we covered last week during the show. In a way, I was trying to basically portray the cheapest, best audiophile listening experience on a smartphone with the N200 5G and the helm, the Nord helm that I showed you guys, not the Nord, the Volt helm that we did, the audio DAC. So literally the best way to listen to lossless audio, the best audio experience on a mobile device that supports 5G. So we have Nords in the US. We just don't have the best version of the Nord. Yeah, and I'm back and I'm no longer at good old internet. That's how we're going to do it. Why don't they release the actual Nord? I don't know, sir. I don't really know because it's released in Europe and in the Asian markets as well as India. So it's I really don't have a way. I don't really have even an idea why. I would assume that the Nord should be there, but maybe they're trying to keep Nord in the US as a very low budget, like a very budget friendly, not mid-ranger, but more budget, because they want to keep the mid-range section for maybe the lower end, like the 9 as opposed to the Nord. Because the Nord would technically be somewhere in between where the N200 is and where let's say the 9 would be. So we'll have to see. There is a possibility though that they may release it later. We didn't get the N10 and the N100 till I want to say 2 to 3 months later after it was released in Europe. So they're starting to experiment with the market here. I think it's more of a market acceptance. And it also could be just basically how the carriers are dealing with it. OnePlus right now in the US is very heavy relations with all carriers. The 9 and the 9 Pro are carrier friendly. Obviously, the Nord N100, the N10 and the N100, as well as the N200 are T-Mobile/Metro PCS, so compatible devices in the US. So there's a big part of that. And maybe the carrier said, no, it's okay. We have enough mid-rangers. We just want to get more budget. So that could have been a relationship there. In Europe, maybe a little bit more open. This is totally me guessing, by the way. This is not any official concept or any kind of statement from them. So yeah, Dan from Grounded Text pretty much, yes. So no different. It's very similar to the A9 series. If you think about it, but he's trying to pick it up there. It's a very good smartphone and it definitely works very good. Let me see here. I think I missed a whole bunch of comments. Let me see here. Okay, so here's a good question here. Actually, interesting. So Amanamar, hopefully I'm saying that correctly. So Amanamar is asking, so okay, bro, so here, love from India. Hey man, hope you're doing well. So I've had about a month in hand experience with the Fold 2. So the Z Fold 2, I have that one as well. Do you see that Z Fold 3 is a worthy upgrade? Your opinions, please. Okay, so the reality of the matter is the form factor isn't really that different, right? The Z Fold 3 is an upgrade from the Z Fold 2. There's a few key factors that may entice you to upgrade to the 3 over the 2. If you are in the market, by the way, the Fold 2 and the Fold 3 are definitely very, I would say, niche market. It's something that not everybody's going to jump into, but it is definitely something that is intriguing because of the technology and how it's been generated. This is the 3rd generation of the Fold, guys. We're looking at much better improvements. I mean, generation 2 was way better than first. So let's just say that. So that's the build quality and the materials that they're using. So for me, on that matter, I feel like 3 definitely should be better. The Ipx rating that we get there, I think, is a lot of people that like to use their Fold. The biggest issue that you have whenever you have a foldable is the fact that if there's ever a chance that you're going next to water, a high dust area, anything like that, like you go to the beach or whatever, that's like literally the worst place to take your Fold with you. because of those little particles that could get in. So that's something that is definitely very nice, and I feel like it's a worthy upgrade if you're very much invested and you use your Fold as much. The pen support is also something that I feel like Samsung's doing this year, a very big push to kind of in a certain way denote the note in a way, because by removing by giving the S Pen functionality to more devices. Again, the S21 Ultra is literally a note with an external note with an external S Pen functionality, because the way it's really built, it's a small bump upgrade from what we got with the Note 20, the Note 20 Ultra. And I think the Z Fold 3, for the most part, just to bring it back together. Is it a worthy upgrade from the first gen? Absolutely, no question. If you purchased the Z Fold 2, and you can probably still pick up one right now for a very decent price straight from Samsung or other retailers, I don't really see a big difference in there that other than the S Pen. I mean, unless you really need an S Pen and really want to have that functionality added to your daily life with a smartphone that folds, I think that's going to be the biggest thing. The foldable experience is pretty much the same. The orientation is pretty much the same. It also still looks like they're not focusing on the camera, so you're not really getting a better camera experience. I think the Z Fold 2 is a very good device. Even a year later, it still holds up. As long as there's no issue with the display or the unit that you have still is covered under warranty and so on. So I feel like that's going to be the best experience. If you're comfortable where you are, there's really no reason to upgrade unless the new features are compelling enough for you to spend the money on it. Because you are going to lose some money. If you picked it up about a month ago or so, the trade-in and so on, it's going to be a little bit of a conversation there. But if you're comfortable in 2, I would say stick with the 2. If you're really looking forward to some of the new features, the water resistance, not total water resistance, but some of that new possibility there, and also to see what are the new features they're going to be adding in there. As you know, they always add new features to new versions with the new version of One UI. So we'll have to see how that comes out. More than likely, it is going to be coming out with One UI 3, not One UI 4, because Android 12 is not officially out yet. So there's also those things. And then more than likely, the phone's going to be available by the end of August. So it's going to be a very short time where people are going to be able to check it out and start putting in pre-orders and pick them up anyway. So typically, Samsung will not wait that long. If middle of the month or first, second week of the month, by the end of the month, by the 20-something, people should be able to start receiving their phones and start covering them. And the Z Flip 3 will be in the same boat. So long story long, it's going to be based on what your usage. And if you like the 2, I don't really feel like the 3 is going to bring that much. S Pen is nice, but it's an external S Pen. I can tell you this from personal experience with the S21 Ultra. As much as I love the fact that it has S Pen support, I don't carry the S Pen for it. So it's never going to be a situation where it's going to be like, oh, this is a really good thing for me. It's nice if I have my tab with me or if I have the pen with me, I bring it. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing with the Fold. It's not going to come with it. It's going to be the S Pen Pro. So the pen itself is going to be another $70 or so. Yeah, this is Samsung piecemealing things, and of course it's going to be slightly more compromised. More than likely, not going to have a charger in the box. There's a whole conversation. I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a bad experience. It truly, you should know what you're getting into if you're deciding to get that. But I think the 3 has its merit. It's just not necessarily a big jump for a 2 that literally is a little about a year old that has 5G. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Let me see here. Sorry. TK. Okay. So TK. Okay. So the IQ7 has the Snapdragon 870, so an 865 plus, and the Nord has the Snapdragon 1200. And I think the processor is a bit stable in the IQ, but with the FunTouch OS is not clean and neat, but Oxygen OS is clean and worth it depending on the users. Horsepower-wise, I don't really think you're going to notice a big difference between the 2. You're really very much in the same ballpark. I wouldn't really jump into the one over the other than the experience. I think, believe it or not, FunTouch OS versus Oxygen OS is going to be more of the conversation that you're going to feel like. If you're more comfortable in Oxygen OS ecosystem, I would jump into that. Mostly because that's where you spend 90% of your time. It's not on how the phone looks, it's how the UI and how the updates go. IQ, the IQ smartphone, if I'm not mistaken, I think the updates are not as frequent, but you could also be, depending on the market that you're in, they may have better support. So I always push on something that I'm very comfortable with in the sense of knowing what they're going to do. Oxygen OS is very stable, very user-friendly, and even with the optimization that we've seen, it's released obviously with Oxygen OS 11, so it's not with 12. We don't see any of the new revamps or what's going on with Android 12 yet. OnePlus has released one beta. And then their beta was pretty much just more of a proof of concept. We're waiting for the first facelift to start showing. So those are going to be some interesting things. I would go with the 1200 AI over the 870, mostly because they're very much in the same ballpark. The main difference, and here maybe will be depending on how the cameras are on the IQ. If you want to have 4K 60 or 8K, IQ may be a little bit better with the 870 because that is supported something definitely out of the box. I feel like the 1200, although very powerful, MediaTek still hasn't really uncovered that magic 60K on their devices. But again, it's all going to depend on what you're using. 4K 30 is still very good though. Let me see here. Sorry, I think I'm really, really late. Marilyn's in the chat. Hey, man, hope you're doing that. Sorry, hey, Marilyn. I hope you're doing well. Oh, Vishnu's in there as well. Mods need moderating. Yeah, of course, of course. Marilyn, hey, man. Sorry, everybody. Oh, Jermaine's in the chat. Hey, Jermaine, concept creator. Hope you guys are doing great. Oh, man, sorry, I missed a whole bunch of things. Chris Lopez in there, waiting for Pixel Foldable. Okay, so Dan's jumping in with the Pixel Foldable. I think, okay, so we got to keep in mind, Google, I mean, so there is support for larger displays. The foldable, so foldables in the AOSP have been supported for some time, or at least they started supporting them in there. It's not a fully finalized experience. I'm almost tempted to say, please, Google, focus more on your desktop experience and get that into becoming a thing as opposed to just being a halfway thing that's been literally in limbo for years. It's like it's there, but they don't really admit to it. And it's not accessible on Pixels, but you can get it on other carriers or other phones. It's a weird situation. But foldable Pixel, I think, would be definitely very nice. And obviously will be the one that runs the smoothest because it would be the one with the least amount of bloat and additional things added. Although obviously optimizations for the folding displays and of course stretching depending on the orientations. It's going to be interesting. I'm still waiting to see the TCL rollable. I mean, we saw the one from Oppo, the Oppo X 2021. That actually was a very nice concept as a smartphone, and it looked really interesting. I'm still interested to see basically how that becomes more fun. I feel like that's the right form factor, by the way. Nothing, but foldables have a crease, and it's just by definition, and they also are thicker as a smartphone. And of course, I froze for another second there. They're thicker as a smartphone when you're using them. Rollables, on the other hand, have the same thickness, width, and function of a regular smartphone with the ability of expanding. So I feel like the TCL roll, as well as the, well, you know, obviously LG's version is not going to come out, but the Oppo X 2021 is something that I'm really interested to see more of. Oppo has pretty much made that as a concept phone right now, so probably 2022 before we start seeing them. So again, we'll have to see how those kind of come out. Oh, so the other thing I think, well, here, let me see here, grounded tag, the natural, the hammerhead. Yes, Matt Tyler, the hammerhead Tyler is the guy. And Marilyn's jumping in with that as well. Yeah, no, rollables are very intriguing, and I think they're still in that stage. I think even in 2021, we haven't really moved away from foldable smartphones being an intriguing type of tech because it's still very new. I mean, hey, Sam, if Sam was in the chat, obviously, I know for sure he would be telling us basically how his Surface Duo's experience when he first got it, it was impressing everybody of a smartphone that folded on itself, and it was so thin, and it really looked like, it doesn't even look like a phone, exists as a piece of tech. And now, as Juan's video that just dropped, I think it was a day or so ago, talking about all the new people that picked them up for like $400 off of boot or on sale. So that's a very big presence as far as hardware and how we're moving, but it still isn't the norm. I think that whole again glowing rectangle standard form factor candy bar style phone is what we're all used to because it fits, because that form factor works, right? Till that form factor stops meeting our expectation because of a limitation, not necessarily built in, but it's more of like, we want to do more, but a rectangle just doesn't do it for us. That's when we start looking into it. I can appreciate what the Fold offers, and I loved using my Galaxy Z Fold 2. The limitation or the things that got me out of it were not out of it, but stopped using it. And obviously it was the S21 Ultra came out and so on. It was mostly because of the fact that it was a much thicker phone and it was hard for me to use it in the car. Function, like accessories for the Fold, were not very much adopted. We didn't see a lot of accessories, and we still don't see a lot of accessories. Car holders don't work with it. You end up having to basically put the phone in a cup holder and plug it in and actually using it, but you can't really use it in the unfolded state. The external display is so thin on the length that it becomes almost. It is better than the first generation, but it's a very big form factor, and having to adjust from something so small to something that basically unfolds to be so much wider, but it's still a weird form factor that you can't put in a cup in a phone holder is frustrating. So it's one of those things you have to kind of appreciate. Greg is in the chat. Hey man, Aditya, man, hope you're doing well. Congrats again, Aditya. We were talking about you a little bit earlier. Hope you're doing well. Thanks, man. Which honestly surprised myself. Excited. Rock Dust. Yes, the colors are great. But yes. So there's a lot of things to talk again. Honor is going to be doing a really big thing. Obviously, next week is the Honor series. We saw the teasers. They're going to do their own live stream. So as I was talking at the beginning of the show, I'm excited for that mostly because of what I've seen in the past, and now that the fact that this is going to be global. I want to see what they do with those AI functions that they did last time. Now, last year's the Magic 2 is more of a slider. If you guys remember, I don't have it with me, but it's very much a sliding phone that gives you, I think it was almost like the Mi Mix 3, if I'm not mistaken, where Xiaomi released that and an Honor released that. But again, it was only a China version. There was multiple versions of it. There's a couple of things coming up in the near future that I'm going to be hoping with you guys. Tariq White is in there. Hey, Tariq, welcome, man. So hope you're doing well. What was I going to say? Yes, so very much excited to see. Honestly, I'm a little bit more excited to see what Honor has to offer. It's a weird situation. Their separation from Huawei, their independent development now, they're their own company. At least from all the things we're hearing, obviously they're going to be supporting the 888 Plus. They announced as one of their biggest things that they talked about. And of course, the ability, hopefully seeing GMS come back to Honor devices is going to be a big move. So again, a lot of things exciting coming up this week, at least with these two launches that seem to be very much on top of each other. And then we're going to have to see how things kind of unfold, no pun intended, with the news, confirmations, pricing. Of course, the Galaxy Watch 4 that's going to be coming out as well. We saw a lot of teasers on that. Running the new Wear OS from Google/Samsung. The new SoC that's going to be coming up later as far as, well, actually, I don't think there's new SoC announcements yet. So I don't know if it's going to be the Wear 4100 or is it going to be running the 30, mostly what most of us have. Not 30, no, it is 4100. We are on the 4100. So we'll have to see. I'm hoping. I'm just glad to see that Tick watches are going to be supported with the new Wear later on at some point when they get the update to that. But yeah, with that being said, I do want to say that a lot of things can be coming up. I do want to, there's a couple of more earbuds. So the video for this is going to be coming out very much this week. This is the Amazfit earbuds. I want to say the Earbuds Pro. I could be wrong, but it was literally their fitness focused ones. They're going to be talking about that. And I still need to talk about the Soundcore P3s. And I need to do that computer revamp that we talked about. So there's a few things coming up. Stay tuned. Hopefully you guys are doing great, and hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We're going to end it a little bit early. I do want to say, hold on a second. Let me double check. I think I saw, Aman Amar, thank you very much for the super sticker. Appreciate it. Always appreciate it. Thank you for the support, man. And then, of course, say hi, Tariq, hi, Aditya, Joe, Dominic Wan, Russ. Can we do the Inception? I want to do the Inception, and I want to see if it's going to come out right. So do me a favor, guys. This is a little bit early in the chat. The show is probably going to be ending in another couple minutes. I do need to go and kind of catch up with the family, but again, I didn't want it to skip on doing a live stream. So it will be one of the very shortest live streams we've done, but at least we get a chance to hang out and we get to talk a little bit about some of the cool tech coming up. So yeah, if you don't mind, drop that in the chat. I'm going to try to do the Inception correctly here. If it works right, you guys are going to see it. If it doesn't, it'll make it for the history books. It'll be one of those that we're like, okay, well, this is how we shouldn't be doing it. Let's see. This is going to be bad. I'm fine. I'm just going. I think it's going to be really, really good. I think it'll be really nice. So we're going to start it off here. Let me do this. I'm going to start it off with Chemi in there in the chat. Grounded tech, man. I'm really. This is nice. I really have to say, this is really, really nice. And this week, even though it's a little bit of week of relaxation, kind of kicking back with the family. I've needed this for such a long time. I haven't been able to go anywhere for a long time, and as you guys know, with the current situation, not a lot of us are. So this is literally, and then we're going to be diving right back into it. School starts for Omar and a whole bunch of things kind of next week. So Let me do this real quick here. Share screen. Is it doing it? Oh yeah, this would be the same one. Okay, so we are ready. Let's go ahead and do this with Chimmy. 1, 2, 3. Bam! We are. It just sounds weird. Okay. Um, Thank you again. Thank you everybody for hanging out with us here for another episode of Saturday Morning with Tech. Chemi, of course, as usual, big supporter of the channel. A buddy of mine we got a chance to hang out on an honor event in Germany a few years back. So definitely very nice. We have, let me double check real quick here. Earl Owens jumping in with us as well. TKception, TKception on Unpacked. Hopefully some things that kind of surprise us. I'm hoping for some surprises. Greg, as well, as always, man, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hope the Pixel Buds A series are doing great for you. Aditya, the man, the myth, the Benedict Cumberbatch of our friends, of our channel. Alcatraz Bay, yes. So the gulag that we're talking about is a picture of mine. Hold on, let me see if I can bring that up for you guys. Hold on once. Well, actually, you know what? I'll see if I can bring it up real quick in a second, because I don't want to jump out of this. But yes, it was Alcatraz. In the San Francisco Bay Area. Chemi jumping back with a mass amount of TK-ceptions, of course. And I'm going to try not to miss. By the way, last week I missed Joe's TK-ception. I'm sorry about that, Joe. Ibrahim, hey man, TK-ception next week, of course. We'll try. Actually, I'm sure next week will be a little bit better. Back to normal, our normal setup. Dominic 1, TK-ception, TK Tesla Bay. Yes, Goku Black Bay. Actually, going to be literally adopted Goku Black. That's going to be pretty much the name for it going on. Grounded Tech, Dan, my buddy, my friend. Hopefully, we'll be able to play some games again this week as I'm coming back to a normal schedule. Matt Tyler, the man, the hammer man. Holy crap, it worked. TK Gulag Bay. Dude, I seriously, when I was in there and I was chatting with you because I was letting him know I couldn't join the games this week, it just snapped. Like it was in my mind. Like, wait a minute, I look like I'm in the Gulag right now. That's exactly what it is. I should just send the picture. So I'll share with you guys the picture in 1 second. Let me see here. I think I may have missed a few. TKception. Okay, Dominic 1, dude. Thank you very much. Yes, definitely a big foodie bay foodie experience here. Matt's in there. Rinesh, hey man, sorry I didn't see you in the beginning. Vishnu's in there as well. Oops, let me see here. That I love it when this thing just jumps. Jimmy Fire Dragon, thank you, man. Hope you're doing well. TK, have a great weekend. TK's as usual. Thank you very much. Jermaine, always, man. I love your support. I appreciate it. Great work. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out Jermaine, Concept Creators, definitely please check it out. Super Sane Bay, as always. Thank you very much, Ranesh. Joe, I think I want to say I saw it. I don't see. Sorry. It just keeps going. Oh, Geeky Nasim, man, dude, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I like this one too. At TK Gula. Shaheen Hero, hey man, hope you're doing great. Let me see. I think, did I miss anybody? I don't want to say. I want to say. Did I say Rinesh? I see. Here it is. Okay. See, I knew it was there. I knew it was there, Joe. I didn't miss it. I just know it. Just you guys see how the chat does. It just literally scrolls like speed demons right there. Let me see here. And then, of course, Salam alaikum. Hey, man, hope you're doing well, Umar. And Geeky Nasim. So let me do this. Let me go ahead and stop the live stream sharing screen part. Let me bring up the picture because I'm going to try to bring it up from the chat that Matt and I were talking because I don't have the picture on me right now. So let me see here. Explore messages. This is going to sound okay. Let me see. Come on, Twitter, do it for me. Yeah. Okay, so Twitter doesn't want to show me the picture. I don't know why. Twitter's just having a problem. Okay. Okay. So I promise I will be posting it. I will post the picture. I will actually post it on Twitter and Instagram just to show you guys where I am. Oh, and then of course, thank you very much to Gary the Fireman. As always, big supporter. Gary, hashtag the Fireman himself, supporting the channel as well as with the super chat as well. And Jermaine, the man, just seriously, always. I appreciate you guys always. Thank you very much for the super chat as well. It like I said, it made me feel weird not having a time with you guys the way we normally do. So I felt like even if it wasn't going to be an hour and a half, our normal chat, and even if it wasn't going to be the best audios or video quality, I didn't want to skip it, and I wanted to hang out with you guys. Plus, the missus was really supportive of it, so I was very happy that she was with me on that one as well. Russ, thank you very much, of course. TKception Honor with GMS. So yes, big move for Honor, a big comeback for Honor with Google Play services. That is literally been years in the making. Has been big thing. I appreciate Geeky Nassim. I like that one. TK always appreciated. So be safe, stay safe, be mobile, and of course enjoy your tech. And of course we'll be online checking out, and we'll talk a little bit more. I'll be back to my normal usual schedule and everything, hopefully in the next couple of days. And then let's see how next week comes up. I'm hoping for some surprises. I'm hoping that the leaks didn't ruin everything out of the Unpacked event. It just ends up coming, yep, confirmed kind of a conversation. So we'll have to see how that goes. So take care of yourself, be safe. Again, we'll talk online. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, on YouTube at TK655, or just, this is going to sound it. Just look me up, TK Bay, or let the beard guide you. Audio chat will be available hopefully very soon as this show is over. I'll see you guys next Saturday with another episode of Saturday Morning with Tech. Tomorrow or in a couple more days, make sure to check out SGTQA with Juan Carlos. And of course, the Bar Week on Thursday. A lot of things coming up. We're going to have a lot of things to talk about for sure. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you. Take care.